Good morning, friends. This is Beverly Morales with stampinalldaywithbev.com. You can come to my blog anytime and visit me. Today I'm here because I posted a card that I made for my dad's nurse. She's the sweetest thing. We have something in common. My dad, she loves him, and of course I love him, and he needs a lot of care, and she's just there for him 3 days a week. She called me and she told me she was getting married. So she was so excited. She's the cutest little thing. And I made her this card. Let me see if I can get a good, I can't tell if it's good or not because it's in front of me, but I posted that on the Demonstrators website place. It's called Demonstrators Place. And I got over 1,000 hits on it, and there was some questions about the shadowing, the paper, the oval, different things. And so I thought, okay, but rather than try to answer so many people, it sometimes is very, for me anyway, I'm very visual. It's better just to make a little video and hope I can explain everything well. Let's start off with what we need to make this card. Okay, you need the stamp set Wonderful Moments, and I believe it's on page 136. Let me see if I'm right. Oh, what do you know? I am. Page 136 of the new annual catalog. You'll find the stamp set. It's beautiful. It has the bride. It has a mommy to be. It has just a girl, a regular girl, young lady, and then the nicest sentiments in it. So you can use, I think it's the best bridal set we've ever had, honestly. And I really like it because we need, we go to baby showers now and then, or we need to congratulate somebody, and even balloons, shopping, whatever you need. It's a really, really great girly set. So that's the set I used. Oh, let's see, how can I stay organized? Let's go over here. The next question I got was, what paper did you use? And I just used Whisper White cardstock. Nothing special there. And I'll give you measurements and stuff in a little bit. I also used the gold foil paper for the layering. A full sheet of cardstock is needed for this card. So here's a full piece of Whisper White. And then I think the item that stole the show was this laser. It's called Delightfully Delicate Laser DSP. Let me see if I read that, if I said that right. Delightfully Detailed Laser Cut Specialty Paper. That's what it's called. And it's current, so you can get this. Now, this is what I used right here. And you're going to think right away, we all do, oh, how many sheets is there? Well, there's 4. So you can make 4 of these wedding cards, or you can put something, put something else in there. And they're vanilla and white. So whatever occasion you're going to, if you want it to be white or if you want it to be vanilla, you have those choices there. And you can also color them because they're neutral. So when you cut them down, I wanted to show you that I place them in one of our little stamp boxes, and it keeps them nice together there. All right, so let me show you how to cut this paper so you can use it correctly. There we go. So you're going to need a paper cutter. And what I do is I take the laser cut paper and I line it up here, the top of my cutter. And this is the cut line, right? This line right here is the cut line. So you're going to eyeball, and you're going to make sure, we're going to start on this side though. You're going to make sure that you're cutting right down so you don't cut any of these pretty images off. So straight up against the holders here, check your cut line, and when you've got it, just cut this pretty strip off. That's step number 1. Then come over and do the same thing on this side. I want a little bit more, I think. Make sure everything's straight. Go ahead and take your time with this part. I want to make sure you get everything straight. Okay, now at this point, I come across this way, and I'm making sure I have enough for a frame on this part, on all these 3, and enough on these 3. So this looks good to me. And then you can cut them off individually, sharing enough framing on both pieces. And that's how you get this oval for the card. I'm not going to, well, I'll go ahead. I was going to say I'm not going to cut the rest of these, but I better, because they're delicate and they're beautiful, and I don't want them to go anywhere, anything to happen to them. So I will finish cutting those and then put them in my little box for safekeeping. Isn't that awesome though? Look at all these frames. And oh, another question I got. I haven't done it yet, but in my brain I'm thinking, what if we took Whisper White cardstock or vanilla cardstock, depending on the side of these that we're using, and we use our oval framelets and we cut a frame inside and out, and then we cut the same smaller frame out of the middle and then place that frame on top. It's not going to be as fancy as the one we have, but it will be an oval cutout in the middle here with a frame. So I don't know if that's going to work or not. Haven't done it, but it's a thought, and if I can, we'll do it later today. Okay, and then I'm just going to put these pieces for safekeeping over here. And now the card base. It's regular card base, so you put an 8.5 by 11 piece of Whisper White cardstock into your paper trimmer, and you cut in half at 5.5. Then you turn and you place the end on 4, and you cut, and then you turn again the long ways and 5.25. And this is your layer piece for the inside of the card. Okay, this is an extra piece that you can use to stamp the bride on. And you can use it to make the tufting. Now, the frame lands up being 5 by 3.5. Double check that. 5 by 3.5 is very close. It's going to depend on where you cut it up on when you're separating your pieces, but that's a pretty good guess. 3.5 by 5. So this is going to be for the inside. This is the frame. So let's cut another piece just under 3.5 by 5. Okay, so that is the piece that you're going to run through the tufted folder. Did I leave that on the big shot? I did. Let me get it. Be right back. You need to see this folder. Okay, so that's the tufted folder, and I think that's another step that really, really dressed up this card. So you simply put this piece in, and see this line down here? When I'm going to line it up, I make sure that the bottom of my cardstock is on that line, squeeze it shut, and run it through the big shot. And then you will have a piece like this. Of course, I did a few things in advance because I didn't want you guys to have to watch me do a bunch of things that you already know how to do. So this is the inside, the outside, and I think I'm done with my cutter. You're going to need a bone folder, And you're going to take your cardstock. This is the half that we cut. Run your bone folder across, and then I call this winging it back. Wing it back, and you have a beautiful seam every time. So this gold cardstock is 4 by 5 1/4. And there we go. We're building our card. Is it not super easy? Okay, you're going to need Memento black ink. And the verse says, congratulations. Something about, and best wishes for a future filled with love and happiness. Tap, tap, tap. Finger over the actual stamp for some weight so you ink it up good. Line it up on your grid paper and stamp. Hold it down for a second. Don't be in a hurry. Maybe put your lid back while you're waiting if you're impatient. Hold and lift, and you have a perfect image every time if you just follow those simple little steps. So this is going to go on the inside of our card. Okay, so for the extra piece of cardstock that I talked about, back to the Memento. Let's see if this piece is big enough here. Perfect. All right. When the image is a little large and I want to make sure that I get it inked up well, I turn it over on the block. I think this is block E. It's block E that she fits on. This one was block D. Block D. All right. And once you're happy with the ink coverage on your stamp, just stamp her down. Full palm across the full image. Again, be patient. Let the ink soak into the paper. And lift, and you will have a perfect image. Isn't she pretty? Now you're going to need your paper snips. And you're going to need to cut her out. But again, I didn't want to take up your time with that, so I have one cut out. This will be for my next card. All right. So I do want to make sure you know that when you're cutting out, you want to start at the bottom of the paper because we're going to need the bottom of her dress to complete that shadow. And when you cut out, move the paper, not the scissors. Cut any excess off that's bothering you. And just move the paper. Your scissors are meant to just go up and down, you know, like snap, snap, snap. Your paper is what you're going to move. Okay, so that's my little hint on nice cutting. Then you're going to need Miss Winkastella, and you're just going to make her dress shimmery. I suppose you could use, it was an afterthought, the shimmery white cardstock for this part of it. So either one, give you the same effect. And then I would like to know the color of the wedding if I could, if it's proper to ask somebody what the colors of the wedding are, so you can make her bouquet the same color as the girl you're giving this to coordinate with her wedding. All right, so you guys all know when this comes, there's a black ring here. You have to take that black ring off, and then you have to squeeze these little knobs to get the flow going, and then you're ready to go. All right, now for the flowers, I'm using Lemon Lime Twist, and I always suggest that you buy the refills, and so you can use them to color like this. You're just going to grab a little bit and go in between where you feel the greenery should be in her bouquet. Clean off your blender pen. This is an old pad. Now I got to get used to opening up the new pads. I keep telling myself, like makeup, like a makeup compact. Okay, grab some of, this is the Highland Heather, I think it's called. I know there's Heather in it. That's my oldest daughter's name. That's why I can remember. This Candace's wedding is going to be a lavender color. Okay. I love the way these close, much faster. Right, clean it off. And then for her hair, I use soft suede. She's a brunette. So, really fast. You could use blush ink to color her body if you like, but I didn't even do that. Alrighty, there's Little Miss. Makes me smile every time I think of her. She's a sweetie pie. I just love her, as I keep saying. All right, for some embellishments, you're going to need the 1/8 sheer white, whisper white ribbon. I barely have any left, but it's in the catalog, so you can order more. And you're going to need about 9 inches, and I measure it on my grid paper, and then I tie a little bow. And you're going to need mini glue dots. I'm going to put that on second. You're going to need the pearls. I grab them with my snips. Teach my customers to do this because otherwise they're ripping off the adhesive and then the pearls are no longer usable. Okay, so a little mini glue dot right in the middle of the knot, back side of the bow. That down on her dress, and then I'm gonna manipulate these after I get them on the card. Now, one of my other tricks of the trade is that I put 2 snips out here. Our multi-purpose glue. This is my glue of choice. I put this at the bottom of her dress. I'm not throwing stuff on my floor, you guys. I have a trash right under me at my feet, so it's like she keeps throwing stuff down. It's just to my trash. Okay, so for this card, for the shadow that you guys were asking about, I put the glue on there, and normally I let it set not a few minutes, just a little bit, maybe not quite a minute. But what I like about it is I can move this around until I've got her where I want her. So I don't want the circles under here to be see-through. I want them to have the cardstock showing, of her dress showing. And if I had put, fast fuse or snail probably wouldn't have held it long, or anything else, I wouldn't be able to move it around. So that's why I like the multi-purpose glue so much. I love the dimensionals, mini glue dots, because, I love dimensionals too, but I love the mini glue dots because they help me manipulate my ribbon. I put a piece on the back, and you can curl them up and make them smaller than they really are. And you can control where the tail, I need ribbon scissors for that, where the tail of the ribbon lands up. Otherwise, it's kind of just flopping around and laying there and not looking really pretty. So find the back, place it on there. Don't worry about really where. I know it shows through because it's wider than the ribbon, but you can just push it in and then set your tail down where you like it. When you like it, then you press really hard so it doesn't come back up. And so you get it flat. Okay, there she is. Now, we're going to back this. With the tufted. So, there's the back for you to see. just the edges, let it sit. Okay, and then because I let it sit just a second, just a few seconds, it gets tacky and it's not slipping and sliding away from me unless I want it to. Okay, so there we go. And she's lifted, she's not flat, so it causes a shadow. Okay. Now, to put it down here, I used more of this multi-purpose, and then here, do a few other things, clean up maybe while it's getting a little tacky. Bring your card base. Oh, I want to do this one too. It's my inside. Okay. So this one should be good. My card base. Kind of look to see that it's got a little even area around the top, bottom, and sides. Oops, sorry. Scared me more than you, I hope. Snip these guys. Didn't quite like the length on those. Come here. Okay. And then take the inside. Again, you want to make sure the top, bottom, and sides are all pretty even. And then give everything a minute to dry and stick your finger in there and pull her up. And when the light's just right, let's see if I can find it in the camera for my photo, the shadows showed really well behind her bow, behind the bouquet. So that's how you get that. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed your time with me. This card, I'm told, I thought it was pretty, is elegant, stunning, amazing, easy, simple. It is. You just saw how I made it. It's very simple. Stampin' Up! Really did all the work with this beautiful laser cut DSP, the tufted folder. I thought it was going to be my favorite out of all of them, and it's number 2. I love the subtle, just a little bit more. Making the 3D with the bow and the pearls and coloring her little bouquet, a little bit of gold for some pow, and then the sentiment inside, and then your signature, however you sign it. You could fancy up an envelope too with some gold or some more laser cut paper, you know, even to go a step further. But it's a very simple card, and I'm sure you can do the same thing with the little mommy-to-be or the lady, the girl, the young lady. It's all gorgeous no matter what you do. I'd like to see what you guys do, because I know I just kind of got your minds going, and now you're going to come up with some awesome things. So go ahead. I'm going to post this on my blog, stampinalldayWithBev.com. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye.